today.
Oh, that's good. I didn't get a chance to share it yet, but I will as soon as I get an opportunity.
No. Well, when I do a blog post, I need to put them everywhere. So.
Well, I keep sharing it all. I try to look and see if you're already in that group.
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've taken a couple suspensions for you, but it's worth it.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Sharing too much.
I wonder what groups those are in.
No, not groups. Like, Facebook overall. Just like, you're not allowed to play no more for like 6 days because you share too much.
What?
Yeah, that's what they told me. Day number 5 today. So I should be back to sharing again. One of my pages. I don't know. One of my groups.
Wow. Yeah, because
it's okay. It's for you.
Like just this morning alone, I think I posted in my own feed like 3 times, and then I posted in probably 100 rooms.
That would be our friend Steve right there. I was trying to explain what you told Mississippi because I couldn't figure out how to share
Steve?
that.
How are you?
Steve's in a lot of pain, and I want to try to help him. I don't. So, I mean, it's his back, his ass, and his leg, and it is severe to the point where he is not happy. I kind of feel like that's what it is, but we have a language barrier. He speaks Australian, and I don't understand that. Yeah, I don't understand that. No, it's not really the barrier as much as it is when he talks to me in the back room. The music is the same level as him.
Okay.
Like when we do the commercials here, so I can't really hear him. Good morning, Tina. Let me turn it up a little bit on the radio, maybe. I don't know. It sounds fine here.
Yeah. So for Steve, are you already a medical cannabis user in Australia? Have you already seen the doctor? Do you have a prescription? Do you have any of that where you're able to access through the government channel? Because that would probably be your quickest access, because you could go and actually purchase it from a distribution outlet probably today. Outside of that, if you want to use an online supplier, they're most likely not completely legal, but at the stage where legalization is in Australia, they may be tolerated. Or they may just be a company that's doing good business and nobody has felt the need to alert anybody as to their presence at this time. And I dealt with several places like that in Canada before legalization. So the only real advice I can give on that is you have to be willing to roll the dice on that first transaction. Don't make it a huge transaction. Get something small. You know what I mean? Even if you got to pay the shipping on it, I mean, balance out whatever the deal is, but don't spend too much money and see how the fulfillment goes. And if the fulfillment is what they say it is, if they tell you they can get it to you, like in Canada, it would go by express post. You'd receive it in about 3 days maximum. If you're right postal code to right postal code or right zip code to zip code, you could get it in 2. So they'll probably use a service similar to that, the fastest mail service, or just downgraded from priority mail to, 2-day express mail. So I would roll the dice one time, try them out, and see what happens. And that's all you can really do. If you can't go to a government-controlled distribution outlet in Australia, then you're going to have to take that chance one time.
Good morning, Randy and Elrich.
I'm going to tell you, in my experience, I did this with about 4 different groups altogether. 3 were actual websites you could go on and see the product and place your orders and do your whole thing through that. And one of them was more private, who was a recommendation through somebody I knew, especially when I wanted to get CBD isolate. He was the best supplier for that. I could buy multiple ounces at a time from him, which was good. So, yeah. So you can take that chance. And even, okay, I'm seeing that you're saying you're a medical patient. So if it's not a question of having trouble accessing it, like if it's outside of your financial ability, or whether you're in the outback someplace and just too far to be able to go and source it quickly and easily, then you can still use that medical route. If you've tried the strongest available preparations inside the Australian medical availability, and I took a quick look through it, there's about 400 and some odd products available.
I thought it was quite a nice site, to tell you the truth.
They have a good selection, and they have a good breakdown of products, right? All the way from flour to the oils to
The hash,
you know what I mean? So they go through, yeah. So they do have a pretty good range. So I kind of need to more understand what specifically you need. You know what I mean? Like where is the disconnect between access, or do you already have access and you're using cannabis now already to deal with these issues, and you're finding it's not effective anymore, or it's losing its effect, and you want to know what to change about your routine? Then I need to know what kind of product you're using, how often you use it, how often you have used this particular product for, what the numbers are like, and then we can work from there on how to increase the potential for benefit for you. So
Steve, I just sent you an invite, buddy, to on Facebook Messenger. If you can click that messenger, then
that's assuming he even wants to come up here and talk with his face.
he'll come up here. He'll come up here. Get your ass up here, punk. But no, I'm waiting. I don't know what that means. I guess I was looking at the other thing, trying to invite him when he was writing that. I don't know what you were saying.
So, I mean, how can I specifically help? Like, ask me something directly that you need to know, or what is it you need to know? I don't know what else. I don't know how else to say it, I guess.
I guess maybe the longest and strongest would be an edible. Morning, Nick. Morning.
Morning, Nick. How are you? Brandy, Arisha, hello. How are you?
Oh, are we live?
Hope everybody's having a great day so far. I know the sun's shining here and it's warm and humid, and I got my virtual background back.
Oh, I see. Very nice. Very nice.
Yes. I actually had to do something in Google to fix that.
Did it all?
I had to accelerate my hardware. Whatever the hell that means. I'm just glad YouTube teaches me anything.
Accelerate my hardware and everything will be fine.
I had to accelerate my hardware.
So, Steve has fallen asleep. I don't know. Like I would say, you definitely would maybe try an edible, like a good, maybe this nano emulsification water thing might be good for him, because for longer and stronger,
Yeah, but it looks like in Australia they have, from what I looked through, like I said, from the one thing I read, and we went through this, we talked to Steve like last week, and I think I was looking through the availability of products in Australia on that show. And they had a really good selection, but I don't recall specifically whether they had nano-emulsified products there. It's because you're only going to find those generally in liquid products, like beverages. This is mostly seen. And here you can buy a powder. You can buy little... have you ever seen those powders you can buy in the grocery store that you put into your bottle of water, like Weight Watchers powders or whatever?
Yeah, Mississippi drinks them all the time, a Crystal Light.
Right. Well, you can get them here in the dispensary, but they're infused, cannabis infused, right? So you can dump it into your bottle of water and then get your dose like that, right? That's how you get your dose in. So, yeah. So these are the kind of things that are really beneficial, But for some reason, and I don't quite understand yet, why nobody is making just nano emulsified preparations in distilled water, period. You know what I mean? Not for beverages, not for anything, just for that medical thing. Just so, you know what I mean? Because it's the most effective. The cannabinoids don't go to waste, or much less go to waste. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, I don't want to, shout out ownyourwater.org, but if you own that machine, you can technically bottle that water and put a label on it, put some of that shit in it and label it and call it your own and sell it.
Yep.
Whew.
Yep.
I think that's and you can adjust it to your pH levels and all that and make it.
The thing is, now what we know from little boxes, this is what can be done. And it's very discreet and it's very simple. You can simply take a Kool-Aid mix, your regular package of Kool-Aid, or whatever thing you like to use to make that summer drink, right?
Lemonade.
And you know how many servings you're going to get from that pouch, right? It's going to fill one pitcher. That pitcher might be 6 or 8 glasses. So now,
usually one of those little packages is a quart, whatever that is.
Okay, yeah, I don't know how many cups or actually drinks it would be, but you can figure that out, right? You could simply take that pitcher full of water and fill up the glass a number of times to figure out how many actual portions are there. Once that's done, let's say you want to take 20 milligrams per portion. Well, with Little Box's formula, you could simply add 1 tablespoon of that powder mix that you've prepared for every serving of Kool-Aid or lemonade. And you add it directly into the powder mix for the lemonade, and then mix it right into the water, and you have an infused beverage just like that. Simple, easy, done.
This brings me to a topic, sir.
Yep.
Let me just find it here. There it is. I have a story. I was looking before the show. This person, it says, I swapped alcohol for a cannabis beverage, and here is what I noticed. If I had to sum up my drinking habits over the last few years, the word I'd use, this is not me, this is somebody,
right,
to describe them is problematic-ish. They weren't taking a noticeably negative toll on my work, relationships, or health, but I couldn't help thinking, when did I start ending almost every work day with a glass of wine or two? And when do I feel as though, why am I reading this? Given alcoholism runs in my family, I wanted to nip this nightly routine in the bud before it got worse.
Right.
So when I discovered cannabis beverages, which promised to take the edge off and subtle buzz without the hangover, I decided to try substituting them for my daily pour of Sauvignon Blanc and see if I noticed any benefit to the switch.
Right.
Studies reportedly showed that drinking surged during the pandemic in women by more than 40%, and along with the alcohol-related deaths rose as well. Over time, excessive drinking can increase your risk of blood pressure. Why am I reading this? On my quest to find a tasty wine substitute, I tried at least a different cannabis drinks and found 3 that worked for me. C-A-N-N, and it's highlighted, so you can look it up, C-A-N-N. A line of canned social tonics made from all natural ingredients and only lightly sweetened with agave makes several complex fruit and herb-infused flavors, each of which only has a modest 2 milligrams of THC. Levia, Levia, also makes a water-soluble tincture that allows me to get creative and create my own custom cannabis mocktails. Yep. Finally, Good Stuff Beverage Company, You got that one? A line of ready-to-drink lemonades made with real pureed fruit and tropical blossom honey are delicious on their own or mixed with seltzer and the Levy tincture good stuff. What? As with the Levy tincture good stuff can be dosed according to my desired experience. In other words, I can add more or less depending on how much I want to feel the effects.
Yeah.
Oh, her anxiety is lower in the morning. I'm sleeping more soundly. I'm skipping through because this is a bigger story than I expected. My digestive issues mostly went away. My relationship conflicts are less frequent. And that's all, basically she's saying.
And that's all from the switch from alcohol to cannabis.
Just from alcohol to cannabis.
100%.
Yeah. So.
And you want to know the cool thing, right? Is if you make a beverage that's 5 milligrams THC, somebody can have 8 of them in a night. And they've only consumed 40 milligrams. So they're not a wreck. They're not, you know what I mean? You're full from the beverages. If you're out dancing,
I think that would be the biggest problem is that your belly would be like. Blah, 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 blah,
no. Think of it like this: if you're out dancing,
but I mean, if it's like little boxes makes, then we can just put it right in our beer, technically.
Yeah.
Right. What's the rules? Like, I mean, if I came into into the local bar and I'm sitting at the counter and dude said, I say, yo, give me my Bud Light. And he goes and he gives it to me. And then I take a powder and I start putting it in there. They're going to be like, yo, what are you doing?
As long as you're putting it in your drink and not the girls next to you.
What are you doing?
Okay. Now, if you're putting it in some girls, then you might have a problem.
Right.
But if you're putting it in your own.
So Mississippi's got to do her own. Mississippi's got to put her own in. I can't when she's not looking.
Plus, if you're a bartender, you've seen a lot of crazy shit anyway. So I would just tell them straight up. I'd just tell them, you know what? This is pretty cool. It's it's water soluble cannabis, and I like to add it to my drinks. You want to try some? That's what I'd say to the bartender.
I got a lot of it for sale. No.
No. You know why we don't see? I think all the Facebook users where we're not seeing their names are because they can see each other, but we can't see them. So they're watching this in your group.
Yes.
From inside your group. So we don't know who's who because your group's private.
Yeah, but I mean, I can tell who some of them are. Like, hi, Vern. Because he wrote, hi, Vern.
Like Veronica's here. Good morning, Veronica. Steve, Nick.
Our good friend Curly Kell is at her great Aunt Tony's funeral today. May she rest in peace.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, she had to go to Long Island and to the city to do a funeral thing today.
Well, most likely,
we love you guys. We're praying for you.
Most likely, great aunt was fairly old.
Oh yeah, 93 or so, 90 something. Yeah, she had a wonderful life.
Yeah, you can't feel too bad when somebody reaches that sort of age. You know, like
oh yeah, that's wonderful. I mean, I wish they could live forever. I want everybody to be able to live healthy. And
the tragedy is young death.
Yes, I agree.
That's where the tragedy comes in.
Or unfortunate death. I was stung 2 times on the belly by hornets like a minute ago. All right. Smoke weed.
Who's that got stung?
I don't know. Probably Vern, because she likes to hang out with bees.
Oh yeah.
No, she doesn't like to hang out with them, but bees like to hang out with her. But she looks like a beautiful flower. So
you can get some lotion right at home and get a high CBD cannabis concentrate, like a CBD distillate or something very high in CBD. Put it into that lotion, mix it all in together, and put that on stings and stuff like that. Control the swelling. A little bit of THC to numb the pain. Probably just a little dab right on the skin would be excellent.
Just a little dab will do you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got to run a commercial. We'll be right back. You're listening to WTHC with the high and the hippie, the doctor and the hippie. Right back to high.
Okay, men, this is your time. Maybe you didn't choose this, but you're here now. You're going to go out there and be an all-star caregiver. It's up to you. So what are you going to do? You're going to go grocery shopping, cook, clean, be there emotionally and physically. You got to dig deeper. Drive them to physical therapy, doctor's appointments. Don't you forget about the pharmacy. No, you won't. Because that's what caregivers do. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. This is your time to show the world, your family, and yourself that you're tougher than tough. Now go out there and be the best caregiver this world has ever seen. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick and proud aunt. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing. But not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. 1 in 6. That little girl sitting alone at the playground, she can't play like the other kids. She doesn't have the energy because she's hungry. School lunch will be her only meal today. It breaks my heart that this is the reality in our country, but it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. This food is then provided to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about using your imagination, learning, and having fun. These children shouldn't have to miss out on simply being a kid because they're hungry. To find out how you can help end childhood hunger in your community, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
I'm here to flip the switch, make all you geezers twitch, so
WTHC. We're back. It's the Hippie and Dr. High. We're over here on Facebook and YouTube. Everybody out there on Live 365 and tune in. Thank you so much for hanging out. We love you guys so very much. We appreciate you. Dr. High is going to get us a phone. No, I'm just kidding. I got to get us a phone number back, and we're going to get a phone so you guys can call in and hang out and ask questions. We got a lot of. I got a lot of stuff.
I could tell you this. I don't want to get the number. When I switched my phone packages over a couple of months ago, I was just getting Dr. High going, and I was talking to people. I was talking with Master Rochi and somebody else I'm going to bring on the show, Jacob, in California, and I got this phone bill. It was like $800, and I was like, "What the hell?" So I called up the phone company. I said, "Must be some mistake here, you know." And I said, "What are these charges all about?" "Oh, there's a call from here to here. Lasted this long. Call from there to there. And I'm like, "Yeah, those are mine." So what I had to tell him was, "Listen, I told the kid when I got the new line 2 months ago that I needed a phone that had unlimited long distance calling into Canada and the US because I was starting this new business." So that kid made the mistake. And now you're going to stick me with an $800 bill? Well, that was erased. And I only had to pay what I had to pay.
Oh, that's good. Thank God.
I had to fight with them, but I tell a little white lie. But that's it's $1,000.
I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. All right.
No, I don't
so when are you going to start bringing these people up? You got to let me know. I need to. We got to get people up here. You got who? What'd you say? Somebody?
Yeah, one of the guys who runs a pretty big group on Facebook.
Yeah,
he's a second generation cultivator out of Humboldt County. His dad was a grower. He's a real genetics guy. If anybody wants seeds, I would absolutely recommend him. One of the most incredible conversations I've ever had with any individual. We got on the phone for a quick chat, our very first conversation, and it went on for like 2.5 hours. And it was really something. Highly, highly cannabis intelligent, especially on the cultivation end, but really overall too. And he is building a social media app like Facebook, but only for cannabis. For all things cannabis, completely cannabis open. It's going to be like a cannabis university. That's what we actually first started talking about, was the content I was creating in my books, the educational stuff that I was doing. That's how we first kind of connected. But he has this up and running now. It's $50 a year or $4.99 a month to be a member, right, of ACGC fam. But it's expensive to build out. I think he's got more than $250,000 into it already. So, you know what I mean? Like, you don't build these things to lose money. And we need a platform as cannabis people that we can be completely open with, right? We can interact with others of our own kind. We can interact safely because it's a closed network, right? It's private. So I think what he's got going on is just highly intelligent. And I messaged with him the other day. And funnily enough, he took down one of my posts. One of his moderators took down my post.
Oh.
Because, they thought it was bad because I had put the Etsy stuff in there, right? And he reached out to me and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, bro. Wasn't supposed to do that, but whatever." So
it happens, As moderators are doing their job.
Yeah. So I told him, I asked him, "Would you be interested in coming to talk about ACGC fam?" And he's like, "Yeah, it sounds fun." So we'll get it set up.
Awesome.
Yep. But what he's doing is really, really interesting. And I'll definitely be a part of that.
Oh yeah, I'm very interested already.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of a tag attached to it, but I mean, we spend money in a lot of ways, right?
Sure.
And
Sure,
really,
sure.
what's $5 a
I
month?
mean, $50 a year is not that much.
Yeah, it's a cost of a hamburger or a coffee once a month.
No,
You
it's
know what
even
I mean?
like 2 trips to Wendy's or 1 trip for my family. One
Yeah.
less trip to Wendy's this
Yeah.
year, and we're going to be able to pay for that shit.
And you're in a spot where
$100 to go to Wendy's every fucking
and
time now.
you know what? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if with Jacob, we could take a show like this and run it every day on that platform. It would not surprise me at all, because of our focus, right? It wouldn't surprise me at all. I'm not saying we've talked about it or it's going to happen or anything like that. I'm just saying it wouldn't surprise me because I understand what he's trying to do with it, right? And it's important to have content to bring people there.
Right.
So
Just tell me what to do and how to behave, and I will do my best. I will be on my best behavior. I promise.
Yep. Good morning, Chris.
That's what I'm worried about too. Like Tim,
Nick's funny, right? Did you see what Nick said?
Nick's not funny.
He said, "I'm back." He left us. He was here and then he left.
I know. Yeah, I saw.
He's like, "No, you was wearing a black shirt." Yes. So should I change colors every day, Nick? Would that be more appropriate if I make sure that I'm color coordinated on a daily basis? We'll do like
anything you can do to help Nick.
We'll do black on Mondays and Thursdays. We'll do white on Tuesdays. We'll do red on Wednesdays.
What we need to do is
Fridays I'll freestyle. Fridays I'll do it without a shirt, so you'll know it's Friday because I'm getting ready to party for the
Nipple
weekend.
Friday, nipples, free to tatas Friday. We're here.
Yeah.
We're gonna see here naked. So that's what I was just gonna say. I was gonna say, is like I'm afraid, like Tim is in contact with that said company, and I'm afraid that they're like listening to me, and I'm over here playing fuck off, and and I'm like, I don't know if I should be still continuing to talk the way I do and play the way I do. If I have companies that are looking at me to sponsor me, they might want to play our shit in their store and shit, and I gotta figure out.
Yeah, yes.
You know what I mean?
You may want to, if that's a consideration, then.
Well, I'm in charge. I mean, if I want, overall, it's my choice.
Or maybe you should, between, let's say, the hours of 8 a.m. and 6 p.m., just no sucking my cock songs or stuff like that. Aww. Just between in business hours, and then outside of hours, you can run them like wild.
That's
what I mean. You can go anywhere you want. No, but I get it. I get it. But if you're,
when I want all the cocksucking done, I'm looking for all the cocksucking to be done during my show.
Yeah, think about it. If you're concerned with that, I didn't even think about it. But you're right. Like, there are places that will not want to carry this in their public businesses.
Right. Like, if I want to be in a dispensary, they're not going to want some old lady here listening to my enormous penis while their song is playing in the store, We
all know that she's secretly giggling on the inside.
Oh, she is, but she's going to turn and be a Karen and be like, oh, my God, I'm never going to go to that place.
Did you hear this, Gladys?
Oh, my God.
A meat wallet? What's a meat wallet?
Right. Nothing could be finer than a nice, clean vagina. Come on. He's not lying. He's not lying.
For the blind guy that walks by the fish market.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
good morning, ladies.
I mean, yes, if your intention is to be able to participate in that type of market, which I don't see any reason we couldn't. The only thing you come up against really there is that most of the people that work in those places are, let's say, 20 to 30. The majority, you'll have some managers that might be 40, 50. But for the most part, our generation. And this music is not their music. So we got to find the right spots, The head shops.
Right,
head shops are the spots, right? Because those are owned by people like us.
Right. Head shops. I figured dispensaries, but you're right. There are younger kids there, but I don't think they have say. Like, the bosses say what they want to listen to. Like, I go to my dispensary, and the boss is the one with the remote control, and they put on this channel, and it pisses me off because it could definitely be us, like live right there playing in their store right now. shout out to you, but I'm not going to shout him out because
But it's got to fit, right?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. That's why that's a concern of mine, and it was a concern of one of my past friends that was involved with the company as well, not hobbies, but other
Yeah.
ones. And and I've always felt like, if they don't like it, they don't have to play it. But then at the same time, if we're getting bigger sponsors, and it's what they say, I guess.
It's not necessarily what they say, but it's an image, right? And anybody that we'd be talking to or working with or anything like that would be Cannabis Central, right? Their main purpose, their main drive would be cannabis related. So anything cannabis is usually acceptable within that community because we all have a good sense of humor. We all love the visual of the plant. We like the stoner jokes, even if we're not stereotypical Cheech and Chong from 1975. We still appreciate the humor, right? We still have that love of the plant, and we were always like a secret society for so long. You know what I mean? That was the little flag. So now we can start coming out of the closet and stuff. I think that the more cannabis focused this is, the better it is for that genre. You know what I mean? So
absolutely. Yeah. And as our parents start to move out of the workforce and we start to take over all of the areas and our generation, which should be taking place right now.
I really like to start looking for legitimate
good morning.
that would like to find promotion here.
Absolutely.
Nutrient companies.
Absolutely.
Lighting companies.
Absolutely. I need some lights.
Cultivators. People who cultivate but it's got to be legal. Like I was in a communication with somebody this morning. Somebody I don't know sent me a message. Hey, they always start the same way, one or two words.
Yep.
So I always engage them to see what's up. And, well, would you like to see my menu? And I've said, listen, I'm not a customer. So let's get that straight right off the rip. I'm not going to be your customer. However, if you're a legal business that has legal distribution into dispensaries, and I can go on some dispensary websites and verify your presence in your product, not through a website you control, but through a third-party website, I can visibly see your products.
Right.
And I'm interested in working to help you promote your business. Because we won't work with anybody who's illegitimate. We can't do it. Nope. It's not possible, but I'd like to work with...
we don't love you guys.
Yeah, I'd like to work with everybody who is.
Absolutely, but...
You know what I mean? To promote the good companies, to promote the culture, to help young startup companies grow, entrepreneurial businesses grow. I mean, we're not going to have Aurora and Canopy Growth and people like that banging down our door.
What?
But things expand in the United States. Even Canadian companies would be tough, simply because they're all big, right? They're all in order to be a player in the market here, you've had to put in a lot of money. You have to have a fairly big corporate structure, and there are really strict rules around publicizing your business here. But the States is very different. It's emerging. There are some states that are legal, some states that aren't. So there are a lot of smaller legal cannabis people out there, seed guys, geneticists, breeders, people making edibles, people growing cannabis, put it in the market, extractors, product processors. So there are a lot of people
CBD
that are in that legal vein. And those are the people that we can help. Those are the people that I'm interested in talking to. Those are the people I'm interested in, because everyone we talk to brings the conversation around their product. And as we talk about their products, the people who are with us during the shows are learning. It's how we learn, right?
Yeah.
So
I've learned so much you wouldn't even believe it. I feel like a doctor now. I'm like helping people in our chat. I'm like, well, he says we got to do it this way, and and I was helping Raggy with his intake. Myself included, only from learning from you that, I don't need to fill my bowl from my bong up all the way to the top because I'm just burning shit and wasting good stuff.
Yeah.
Put just a tiny
Just
little
get
piece
that
in
one
there.
hit in there. Get that one
tiny hit,
that
and then
one
get it
bong.
all.
That's
right?
it.
Suck it through. You got your hit. There you go. Put another little hit in.
Exactly.
If you need a third one, put another little hit in. But you don't need to pack a big bowl and sit there for 45 minutes smoking it and wasting half of it because it's just burning away because you think that you're cool and you can pack your bowl. Yeah.
Well, here's something that I've never talked about on the show, I don't think, but
sex life.
Those are no. But I do offer cannabis coaching. I will work with people one-on-one and prepare a course of action. We'll look at your diagnosis. We'll look at the complications that come along with it, because that's really what cannabis is beneficial for, is working with some of the
low price of $199.99.
Well, I mean, of course, there has to be money attached because I got to do research and I got to do work, but it's not going to be crazy for me to prepare a care plan. There's different levels, right? If we're just preparing a care plan for you, it's going to be one price. If it's, a series of consultations over and over and over again, then that's going to be based upon the consultation times. You know what I mean? So there are things like that, but it's not that there are people who don't know how to use their medicine properly.
Well, that goes back to our topic, not to cut you off, and I always do, you know that. But that goes back to our topic, that these doctors that are, they're doing their very best, but they weren't trained on marijuana, and now they're out there and they're just giving out cards. But this dude has been studying it all his life and knows it all. And he can help them or teach a class to them.
I can't give the medical diagnosis. I can't do any of that. I can't diagnose you. I can't determine what things you have. I can't determine any of that. The doctor has to do that because that's what he does. But the doctor doesn't have the time to learn or the inclination to learn about cannabis and how it can interact with people to combat some of the situations that arise when you've been diagnosed with a medical condition, or even if you just want to use it for general wellness purposes and you're not already sick. You know what I mean? But they don't have the time or the inclination to learn that. But that's what I spent my time, and my inclination is to learn, and my passion is to learn, because I'm passionate about it. So because I have the understanding of the plant and how it works and all aspects of it, that I can help somebody who has this diagnosis find their way through the cannabis part of their journey, right? Like, I can help you through the cannabis part of your journey. Right. I can help you find the right medications. I can help you find the right doses. I can help you learn to make your own preparations. I can help you learn how to cultivate your own plants. I mean, the whole thing can be done on a one-to-one basis. You know what I mean? So that's a service I offer. I don't ever really talk about it, but because you were talking about you're helping people in the group and stuff like that. I mean, if there are people out there that need to help and need that time, then
by Facebook user, I don't know who that was. We love you.
We hope you have a great day too. Thank you. So, yeah. Your mama loves the music. Who's that, Kelly? Or Curly Cal or Bronco?
I have no idea. That's the bad part about this group thing. I mean, it's good because it's a lot more people.
Once you made it private, you can't switch it back.
I know.
You can take a public group private, but you can't take a private group public.
Yep, I've learned that the hard way.
Another thing I wanted to tell you, on the new logo that you have up, which I stole today because I had to post your old one. So I just skimmed it off of your Facebook page. Now I got it. So when I want to post WTHC, I got the correct logo. But
it's your logo.
So you have WTHC radio in the center block, right? You need to make it a little bit bigger and expand it out so it takes up the two center images right in the middle.
Let me stop you right there and say, you need to talk to Mrs. Hippie, because I got no fucking clue what you're talking about.
Okay.
What are you talking about? Okay. What are you talking about? 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 What
Oh, you don't see what it looks like on your station, like when you go on Live 365.
It looks awesome on the
Yeah,
telephone.
it does. But all I'm saying is the WTHC radio portion,
It's
the
off.
letters need to be bigger, and you just need to make it bigger in that space because I think it's too small for the space.
Oh yeah. After we did it, you know
right?
what? I said to her, and the thing is, we argued about it, and I said, no, it needs to be bigger. And she said, no, I think it'll be all right once you put it here. And we argued about it, and then she was like, you were right. It should have been
Well,
bigger. She's like,
yesterday,
we'll fix it the next time.
Yesterday, Mississippi won an argument because of something we said, and I'm totally unknowing of these things, right? And today you win one.
Right.
So it's very fair.
Right. I won this one. Just make
It's
sure
very
she knows.
You know,
said, it needs to be bigger. It needs to be bigger, so it'll look good across there. It looks awesome, but if it was a little bit bigger,
it just needs to be bigger.
Yeah,
that's all. You need to take that whole center square and use that, or the
I
two
told her
squares.
that. Well, I don't know if I told her the whole center, but I said it needs to be a little bit bigger. It looks a little small when we put it, but then we hit it and it went up, and we were like, it's a little small, but it don't look that bad. We'll fix it next time. So
yeah, it's weird in the last couple of months. I think more like a designer now. You know what I mean? Because I'm always preparing for stuff. You have no idea.
Rooms. That room looks beautiful. No, I do. I can have an idea. I mean, you had to design that whole room behind you, right?
Yeah.
Is that a bong on the shelf over there?
No.
You should put bongs on the shelf.
It's this is what that is.
Oh, I know. The picture is beautiful.
Yeah. Well, that's
do you put the stuff on the shelves and stuff? Like, do you have to design it all?
No,
do you put the shelf in there and then put books?
I use the AI art generator. I use Midjourney. And I tell it I want the interior of a certain kind of room. And I give it some details in the room. And one of the details is to put a piece of art on the wall.
Okay.
And it puts a piece of art on the wall.
Size, it has to be.
So now, I'll walk you through this. The process is crazy, but this is how many times I have to screw with an image before it ends up on Etsy.
You want to wait until after I do the commercial, or do you want to do it?
Oh, we got to do a commercial. Let's get it done, and then we'll talk about it after.
All right, yeah. We're going to run a commercial. We'll be right back. You're listening to WTHC with the hippie and Dr. High.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today, I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad, just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Say bye-bye to bottled water. Holistic Health Water has certified medical-grade water ionizers that make 7 types of water, including healthy alkaline. There's a 5-micron filter that lasts up to a year, and each machine lasts 25 to 30 years. Simply attach to your faucet or install under your sink. Even get a mineral spa unit for your shower. Go to ownyourwater.org to get a free ebook. Plus, pay for any machine in full and get an extra filter free. Change your water and change your life. Ownyourwater.org.
Badger Heart Puppetry. Badger Heart Puppetry. Badger Heart Puppetry. If you need some kick-ass puppets, contact Thorge at 1-636-234-1535. He has all your puppet needs. He can fix puppets, build puppets, custom-made puppets. He has puppets off the rack for cheap prices. Contact Thorge today at 1-636-234-1535 or on TikTok or Facebook at Badger Heart Puppetry. He also makes LARPing items too.
Well, I left out of Texas, trailing brake lights and smoke, going 100 miles an hour. Baby, I'll take another tow. Yeah, I was northbound. I had to see the northern lights. Well, Texas too damn hot for me. Yeah, I need to see some more company. Man in black said it best. He said, I've been everywhere. Cause I've seen Mount Denali and I've breathed the desert air and I still ain't done. Hell, now I got too much to see. I've been all the way up to Alaska. Hell, Tennessee tried to kill me. That's a fact. 10,000 miles circle, and I ain't done yet. Cause I've got too much left to see. Slow down when I'm dead. Hell yeah, I said it. Well, you need to come stay out of my way. Well, this 10,000 mile circle, I think it leaves today. I think it leaves today.
WTHC. Good morning, everybody. It's 10:50. You're hanging with the hippie and Dr. High over here. He seems to be very busy at work over there.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. I'm just trying to see what you're doing.
Huh?
I'm just trying to see what you're doing over here.
Oh, no, I'm just...
Carried one.
Somebody put an interesting post up today about a technique that they do something. It's like fermenting cannabis. Somehow they ferment cannabis, and apparently it's supposed to give a different type of experience, right? So I thought, well, that's really interesting because I've been screwing with cannabis for a very long time and have never heard of this technique or any of what this person's talking about, right? I saw the picture of the product, and so I said to him, I said, look, this is pretty interesting. I'd like to know more about it. You know, maybe I'd like to have you come on the show and talk about it and teach us about the technique. And so I'm just looking through my notifications, and I see this guy has sent me a message saying, yeah, sure, shoot me a message. So I go in there and I send him a message, and then I take a look at his profile, and there's not the picture of what the post was. It's a bunch of bullshit ones like you see on the scam fucking profiles, right? So I was just in the process of blocking that that user and trying to get that notification stopped before he gets any of my information, because that's weird. And as soon as it's weird, it's gone in my world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the way I am. If I find it fishy, I don't play with it. I say goodbye. I don't like it.
So,
what were we going to talk about? Yeah, I'm stoned.
we
I
were
don't know.
talking about the process of the art and how to make the rooms.
Let me get comfortable.
The room gets created with the piece of art. I then have to take that piece of art, because it comes in a very small pixel size, and I have to move it over into a piece of software that upscales it, that makes it bigger, that creates more pixels, right?
Can I stop you for a second? Only because he's on break right now at work, and Andrew's here, and we were discussing him yesterday in his court case.
Oh, yeah. How'd that go?
It went very well, I think. Can you write it, Andrew, or do you want me to go back and look for it? I can go back and look for it over there on Discord. Basically,
he's on Facebook. He's not locked up.
No, he's home. He's home. Yeah, no, it went good. It actually went really well, I think. I mean, from what I'm gathering, it sounds like he's got 3 months probation with a probation officer. After that, it's 21 months of unsupervised probation, and that's basically it. Pay some fines, $500 to the cop that got called for having to come to work when he was off duty or something stupid like that.
Oh, to testify. Yeah, they probably got to pay that.
Pay $50 for him.
Yeah, to have him available in court to testify to the offense.
Yeah, $50 a month for the next 6 to 8 months or something like that to pay his ass off. But besides that, I mean, it doesn't sound like, he's got to take a couple classes during this first 3 months for, alcohol, I think. And then
that's good.
Basically, hopefully, I think everything else is gone.
Hopefully they won't put him on a piss test regimen. He'll be all right.
Yeah, well, from what I understand, if it is, it's only on for 3 months, and that's great. I mean, that'll flip by in a couple seconds. You'll be like, oh, it's pretty over. Let's get high. So that was great news. All right, go back to your pictures. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. So I got to move over and I got to upscale them so that they don't look blurry when you make them bigger.
Right.
So I do that. Then I move them into something called Canva, which is like an editing.
Yeah, Mississippi uses Canva a lot.
So I go into Canva and I take the image in there and I remove the artwork that's on the wall.
Oh,
so you use AI, and AI can remove the image. So now I have the exact same room, but I have a blank wall there instead of a piece of art.
Right.
So then I go ahead and I select a frame, and I install the frame on the wall, and then I insert the images. And even if you zoom into them 100%, you'd swear they're still in a frame. It's pretty cool. But for each picture, like that picture behind me, I have to upscale it. I have to do it in 3 different formats. So that's 3 times. Then I have to put it into 10 backgrounds. And then I have to upload those 10 backgrounds. And then I have to create a Google Drive file because these files are too big to upload to any
damn
platform.
Computer moves so slow.
Yeah. So right now, I looked yesterday, I got 80 images now available on Etsy. That's 800 images that I've posted. That's 800 that I've manipulated. That's that's why it's taken me so long. Like you're always saying, oh, you're always working.
Are you sure you're doing it absolutely the fastest way? Like, Mississippi will do something a couple times, and then all of a sudden she'll be like, maybe if I do it this way, I can cut that whole.
Like I just focus on one operation at a time.
Oh, I don't have the patience for that kind of stuff.
There's no faster way to do it. But the problem is that when you upload, like each time I upload this image, I have to go into upload an image, and I have to go into the desktop. Then I got to open the file with the mockups. Then I got to pick up the correct mockup file. Then I got to upload that picture. So click, 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 click. It's just a rotation. And then you got to fill out all the information on the Etsy listing for each individual listing.
No wonder your 3 gram cart is gone and you're already on another cart.
And that's why I'm doing this from like 4 in till 5 in the afternoon every day.
I saw another one at like 3:30 in the morning. I'm like, damn, this guy gets up early. Like
I fall asleep kind of early though too. So,
Oh yeah, last night I was asleep by 9 o'clock, out cold. Slept until 7 o'clock this morning. I was like, damn, I got to get up and move. My ass needs to get going. I'm going to be late to work.
Yeah,
it was a close one today.
I
have across story if you want me to try to read another story.
Sure.
I
grabbed some interesting articles to laugh about today too. So.
Oh, all right. You want to do one of yours?
Sure, we can.
I didn't even read mine. I just clicked them. I said, "Oh, that looks like it could be interesting," and I put it up on the top up there. So that if we need something to talk about, at least I have something up there we can talk about.
I got a couple.
One of them is about Kevin Durant claims he pushed for medical marijuana to be legalized for the NBA for quite some time now. Something about that. I didn't really read about the whole thing. I just pulled it up and put it up there, but we can read about that.
So here's a story out of Ireland, and it's a passenger on a flight from LA to, I believe he's going to Dublin. And this guy was foolish enough to try and bring back 17 kilos, 35 pounds of weed in his luggage. Yeah. In his luggage, and they got him at the airport. They were actually tipped off that this guy was traveling like this. So they got him.
Jerks.
With intent to supply. So apparently he's facing a pretty good bit of time in prison. So Ireland is not cannabis friendly, it seems to me. And this guy was such a fucking idiot that he had it in the luggage with his own name tags on it. He has name tags on his luggage.
Hi, my name is Ralph. This belongs to Ralph.
This reminds me of the story of my son. I'll tell you a quick story. So I'm living upstairs from a Moroccan family. Pretty observant Muslim, you know what I mean? Very, very straight family, nice family. And one day I'm coming home from work, and the father, my landlord,
good morning, Lori.
And he comes over and he says, good morning, Lori. He said, I need to talk to you about something. I found something. I think it belongs to your son. And I said, you did? What's that? And he said, hold on a minute. I'll go get it. And he comes outside and he gives me a baggie. And inside the baggie, there's something wrapped up in tinfoil and a couple of pieces of paper. So I'm like, this is my son's? He said, yeah, I think it is. He says, it's not my kids because my kids can't write in English, right? Because we're in Quebec, so they were French, and Morocco has a lot of French too. So they were French speaking. So he said, because my kids can't write in English. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I go upstairs, and I take the papers out of the baggie, and I open up the tinfoil, and it's a little pill bottle with weed in it. It's got weed in the pill bottle. So I'm like, oh, okay. So open up the papers. On the first paper, it looks like there's some like rap lyrics. You know what I mean? Some lyrics to a rap song or something. The second paper looks like notes from like a science class. The third paper's got my son's name on it.
Uh-oh.
So I know what this Irish
your son a rapper?
Yeah. So
no, he wasn't a rapper.
No.
So it was his.
He was busted though.
He got busted.
Yeah, it was his. I think he tried to hide it outside, and
Mr. Morocco found it.
Yeah, and got caught.
How old was he? 12 or 13? Do you speak French? Are you fluent in French?
Yeah, both my kids are.
You too? Fluent in French?
No, my wife is too, but I'm not.
I didn't understand it.
Before I left Quebec, I could understand it pretty good, but now I've been gone for 5 years and I'm not used to hearing it.
I bet you speak very good Pennsylvania Dutch.
Yeah. It'll take me a little while to get my ear back for it, but I'll be all right once I get back to Quebec. That's for sure.
Spending so much time in Pennsylvania.
So they're saying this poor guy in Ireland's going to spend a lengthy time in prison if he is convicted.
I'll tell you a quick story. I might have told you, I don't remember. Mrs. Hippie and her friends were very young. This is way, way, way before me. She was supposed to go on a flight with her friends, and they were talking about, she didn't know, but they talked her into going with them to Jamaica. I don't know, somewhere. I can't remember. But anyway, she decided at the last minute not to go. And when she found out later that they both got busted for trafficking stuff back. And they both got arrested and went to jail. And thank God Mrs. Hippie didn't go with them. And she had a second thought about it. Not to go.
The consequences are too great, right?
Yeah.
And it's too easy to find beer to ever take that risk.
To find beer?
It's not worth it. I mean, I've known people that did that sort of thing, got away with it, and some who didn't. But
Let me interrupt for a second.
Yeah.
Lori, I know you're late and you're probably just waking up, darling, and I love you. Can you please share it out? Our numbers have been a little lower today. I think it's because Curly Kell and you were here. Curly Kell's not here, and she didn't get a chance to share it out, and you're a little late. And our numbers are a little low, but it's okay. We're still having fun.
That's what it is.
So Ireland dude's going to jail for a long time.
Yes.
Yes. Well,
if he's convicted, but I don't see how he won't be convicted.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. And then we got another story out of Ireland.
The Irish aren't fucking around with weed.
No, but boy, they've taken a risk when they do play with it. So these guys were caught with $2.3 million worth of weed hidden under some frozen chicken. They've already been in custody for quite some time. So December 2022, they were arrested. And they're just now coming up to sentencing for their crimes. So they had all this weed underneath a consignment of frozen chicken. And
talk about salmonella. Salmonella.
And what they've told the court is that they did it to buy presents for their families. This was their justification in court. Christmas presents.
Oh, we'll let you go then.
For the children.
All right.
Yeah, so these guys got followed around by the cops because somebody tipped them off. It's always a snitch, right? That's what people don't get. The police very rarely catch people out of good work. You know what I mean? It's usually a rival or somebody who
breaks down on the side of the highway and you got a flat tire.
Yeah, it could be a freak. It could be a freak chance like that, but most of the time it's somebody you know.
Turning you in, yeah, the fuckers.
Yeah.
Rap
so those are two stories out of Ireland. These guys are looking at, doesn't say, but I'd imagine it was 119 kilos, 350 pounds, basically, of cannabis.
What I could do with that?
Yes, what we could all do with that, right?
Oh.
So that's Ireland. Now in Canada,
don't get your weed from Ireland if you're going to try to get weed. All right, everybody.
This is how Canada views cannabis sales. The province of Manitoba is taking steps to mitigate the government employees strike because they're having an issue with the people who work for the government there. They're on strike, but they don't want it to impact cannabis sales. See, that's one of the problems in Canada. When you're a cannabis manufacturer, you're putting cannabis into the marketplace. You don't deal with a store. So I manufacture my cannabis. I don't get to sell it to Walmart.
Hi, Kyle.
Shoppers Drug Mart. What's up, Kyle? I have to sell it to the government. So I sell it to the province of Ontario, the province of Quebec, the province of Alberta, the province of Manitoba. And I ship it to them. So they have a warehouse set up. Now, all the stores in the province that want to sell cannabis or have a license to sell cannabis now has to compete with each other to get the supply that's inside that government warehouse. So it's like a lottery system. So it's really, really difficult. Even if you have a company that makes a really good product, but harvest is only 60 or 80 kilos, right? If you're keeping control of your quality, then you're not harvesting that much weed. You're not harvesting, 100,000 pounds of it. You're harvesting 150 pounds of it, 130 pounds of it. So there's only so many packages that can be created. There's only so many portions that can be done. So a lot of the products that comes from the good companies, you don't even get access to it everywhere. Or if you do, maybe they're only able to get one case, maybe 12 units, right? They get snatched up quick. So this is a real problem because you don't have direct manufacturer to retailer supply chain where stores could have a much better opportunity. See, in the States, you'll have a better system of distribution when you have federal legalization. It'll be more like it should be. So there are errors. Even though we're legal here, there are mistakes.
Yeah, but I mean, it's all part of the learning process, right? I mean,
right.
That's why we let you guys do it first, so that when you guys fuck up,
right?
We're like, all right, let's try to do this right. But
that's like all the popular television shows. America didn't create most of them.
Nope. We just
like
copied
Sears and Three's Company and stuff like that. They all came, all in the family, all came from England. Yeah,
not Aggie. I used to love all those. Those are my favorite shows. All of them.
So Kyle, that Skywalker OG was holding on till last Friday. Did a good job for him. So I'm glad to hear that. That's really good. Yeah. How did you like the flavor, Kyle? Skywalker has a great taste. You should smell it when it's growing. I've been in rooms where there's about 1,400 plants in flower. Skywalker. Yeah.
Does it smell like the Force? Use the Force, Doctor. Use the Force.
I love it. Like I tell you, I've been to some incredible rooms. The only problem is you can't enjoy the beauty of the plants while they're growing because the lights in there are so intense that you don't actually get to see the real colors, right, of the plant in that light. You don't get to see it until you actually harvest and you bring it out into normal light because you're either in full light on or you're in there in the dark with a green light because when you go into a dark cannabis room, you can't use a flashlight. You can't use a regular light. You have to use a green bulb because that green bulb doesn't disturb the dark cycle on the plant. Like they're really super sensitive.
That's so
very
weird.
sensitive light. So yeah.
So weird. I mean, I love that you know that, and I love that we have that knowledge, but it just amazes me that the people that have done this research, they're amazing. I love them. I love you guys, everybody that's done all this research to try to figure this shit out. Like, I would never know to go in there with a green light bulb. I mean, I wouldn't have a fucking room that big with it anyway, but even
if you had to go into your tent, if you had a grow tent or whatever, if you had to go in during the what's up, Gotcha lovers? If you have to go in during your dark cycle, you need to
light leak is real. Good Lord.
Protect against that light infiltration, right? Because that can disturb the plant's growth cycle, and it doesn't take very much. Like a small light leak is a problem. Yeah.
Holy shit, Mrs. Hippie! See, this is why we only got 1 pound out of 15 plants last year. Because we were probably light leaking everywhere.
Well, if you're outdoors,
and then we went outdoors.
If you can get the right spot outdoors, you're okay. But if you're indoors, you got to use a tent. That's why they zip up. They zip up for the nighttime, so that no light can penetrate.
Well, right now, my little dude is I'm screwed because of my season. I'm off season. I'm gonna be growing that shit in the house in the snow this year, but I'm gonna figure it out because
I'm telling you, a good investment for you.
I started so late.
It would be a good investment to buy a small tent right off of Amazon.
We have one out on the deck. I mean, we have a little greenhouse thing, not a.
No, I'm talking about one of those garden tents for indoors.
Yeah,
you can buy the whole kit for $400.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm going to have to do.
Yeah,
once I hit the lottery,
You could grow two plants, no problem at all in there, or you could grow one really, really nice one. You know what I mean? You can grow one really nice one where you actually train it down and really utilize the whole space.
Well, that's what
right?
I'm hoping I'm going to be able to do with this fucker that I got going over there. Well, he's out there now, but yeah.
Yep. Then you just buy a second light. You buy a second light in a tray, and you cut your own clones, because you'll come to points where you're going to have to prune your plant anyway, right? You're going to have to do some defoliating and stuff. You cut a couple of your own clones, and you get them prepared. So when your plant is ready to harvest, you got the next plant ready to go right in.
Right.
You know
And
what I
then
mean?
hopefully out of that, I get 2 or 3. I can get 2 or 3 clones, right? And that's where I can turn one of them into a male.
Oh, man, you can cut 100 clones off a plant when you cut. If you cut a plant that's 2.5, 3 feet high, you can cut 40 at least every couple of weeks. You know?
Yeah.
But
then that's when I can make a new male then, right? And then I can keep this bloodline going.
No, you make a new female. You're not trying to make a male.
Well, no, but I need seeds, my man. I want seeds from this fucker.
Why do you want seeds?
Because it's 33%.
But there's no guarantee to be 33% when you grow it.
I'm not going to grow it. You're going to grow it. I'm just going to take care of it. It's going to come out perfect.
I mean, if they hit 33%, maybe it's because these guys knew what they were doing and they were dialed in.
It was THCA, remember? It was THCA, 29 point something THCA, and then it was 3 or 4% THC, but for a grand total of 33 point something percent.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is that if you're able to hit a number like that, that's not a mistake. It's because you know what you're doing. You know what I mean? So you're going pretty good there, Ganji Lovers.
Oh, he's a professional.
It's nice to have a cycle, because this way you'll have you can have a clone, a veg, and a flower tent. You know what I mean?
Yeah, him and his wife are amazing. They have their own little group. I don't know if you follow them yet.
Which one?
But I highly suggest them. The Ganji Lovers. That's their group. The Ganji Lovers. They have they get together every day. And
I don't
chill.
think that. I don't think that I'm a member of their group.
Wow, you should.
I don't know.
They're wonderful.
Some groups don't like my content, though.
Well, they're silly if they don't. I mean,
it's just that they have that, like, although it's not like overt promotion and stuff like that. I don't spam anybody, but some groups just don't like me putting in my links or you know what I mean. Even with promoting the books, they were free. Some people have problems with that, so I don't tend to. Like, I post in so many groups already.
Oh, Ganji, I would love to have you guys back on the show sometime. Please hit me up privately, and we'll set something up where you and the missus can come up and hang out. But it has to be around this time, because Dr. High doesn't do nighttime. He does 10 a.m.
If they want to send me an invite to their group, I'd be more than happy to start posting there regular as I post everywhere else. You know?
What did my friend Lee Hacker say to you? He trying to steal you away from me, that bastard. Lee Hacker, I'm watching you.
I didn't talk with Lee.
420
we sent a quick message yesterday, but I didn't have any further conversation with him. So,
all right, I'm watching him, Lee Hacker. I'm watching you.
It's really about being able to help as many people as possible understand the potential of cannabis. That's really what I care about. And in order to keep that machine going, I need a couple of ways to make a few bucks at the same time, right? I'm not trying to make a killing. I'm not trying to be a millionaire. You know what I mean? If I can make a couple of bucks a month just to, offset life, then it would be good. Even if I can cover my bills, like not my bills, but Dr. High's bills, I'd be happy.
Gotta run a commercial. We'll be right back. You're hanging with the hippie and Dr. High.
Hey, Dad, your prescription will be ready in just a minute. Hey, Dad, your laundry will be ready in just a minute. Dad, your lunch will be ready in just a minute.
Hey, honey, why don't you?
Nick, you can do a nighttime show whenever you want, buddy.
When you help care for a loved one,
I have a nighttime show. It's the fun guy. He's on from 10 o'clock Central until 2 o'clock in the morning every night.
At
And if we're going to do a show with Master Rochi, we'll probably have to do nighttime also.
Masturbation.
Care for your own
Nick's
physical
going to be in
and
charge
mental
of that
well-being,
show.
and manage the challenge of caring for a loved one. Because
you're going to live stream it?
Yeah, he does it live over on Clapper every night.
You're going to live stream it so we can see him stream live?
You're there for them. We're here for you.
Lori
Find
says you
free
ready
care
for new
guides to
pics,
support
Doc?
You and your loved one at
It's only been a couple days, Lori. Did
AARP.org/caregiving.
your plan have an orgasm?
AARP.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP.
She's sending you nudes again, Doc?
I'm not going to discuss that with you.
Oh, it's
Let's hear what
That's
everyone
what,
did
no,
this
usually
weekend.
she sends me nudes. So I was like,
I
That's
wish my
not, that wouldn't be very gentlemanly.
It was at least 100 years old. My mom said I must have set a record or something. And then we went
Oh,
down.
got
to
a
$4 raise.
A week or an hour? That's phenomenal.
all these little minnows swimming around way below us. And then I rescued my little brother from an
Unemployed
evil
Floyd
kid
Johnson.
who was hurting him at the
In
bush
between me and
my
Tim.
sister and I brought him back to our super twin
Who's
fortress.
Unemployed Floyd?
And then we all laid
He's
out
my other radio host who plays when I'm not on the
and
air.
the Big Dipper led us all the way home.
What are we not worried about with Lori?
Where were you, Jill? Yeah.
Oh, she's telling you don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't you worry about what I'm sending Dr. High.
This weekend?
Okay, Lori.
Ask your parents to take you and your friends to the
Just
forest this
jealous.
weekend and find the fun.
Those are my
adventurous
boobies.
you. It's
I'm
closer
an
than
old
you
ex-con. I
Check
know how
out
to keep my mouth closed.
discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Hey, it's me, Mississippi. Check out Vern on TikTok at You Have Me Hooked. She's amazing. And everything she makes on TikTok, she
All right,
sells
brother. Good
at
seeing you.
Me
Have a
Hooked
great day
23
at work.
at
Be
Etsy.
safe.
So you can watch her
Hey,
make
Ganji
it.
lovers.
She can make
Everybody
her
pick
stuff.
up the
So if
Ganji
you have an
lovers if
idea,
you don't
I would
have them
like
on
this thing
Facebook.
made,
They're
She
amazing.
can make it. She can make anything. She's an incredible artist. Check her out at You Have Me Hooked on TikTok and You Have Me Hooked 23 on Etsy.
Hey, hippie, look at this beautiful crystal sphere I got from Bella's Badass Crystals.
Look at this big vagina I got.
OMG,
Wow,
hippie.
then they were underpaying you
doubles as a
for quite
rolling
some
stone.
time, Kyle.
Bella's Badass Crystals is on the top of the mountain. in
Congratulations,
Dolphin
that's
PA.
awesome.
You can also check out their sales. They have mini Mondays and twice a day Tuesdays.
Find Bella's Badass Crystals on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
They are badass.
Have you seen my wallet?
Every time that I start to write a
That's you from
song,
growing.
like fuck
What
it.
is the deal here?
Why can't you grow?
Everything that I have to say has been said before. And if I had something new to say, I would probably be a prophet. Cause there really isn't anything new to say.
Did they give you full time, Kyle?
We're all a fucking
Bunch of whores.
Whores that wanna hear the same damn thing every day on the radio. Because we wanna sing along to something that we know.
In-laws
No,
work at
it's
the
all a bunch of
hospital.
garbage, filthy shit.
Do you live with your in-laws?
Fill our head with
I don't know who I'm talking. I don't know who I'm talking to, so I don't.
That was going to be my question also. Because there are ways that you can.
Is that Vern? It might be Vern. Vern! I know her in-laws give her a hard time. Growing.
Yeah, but they don't go into every room in your house unless they live in it.
He fell away.
It's an awkward situation down there in Fernland.
Lost his soul.
Florida, eh?
Let's keep digging.
Kyle.
What?
No full time available yet.
Lots of fun. He'll tell you.
All right, maybe next semester.
Just so
He's a custodian for the school. Well, he works in the food department for the school district.
Oh, nice.
just wants to
Nice.
sell his CDs to you. Stop supporting these mindless chicks that just want your money.
Never heard this song before.
They don't write no
This is the Neat Kebabs. You usually hear Cockadoodle Doo, because that's their newer one, but this is one of his prior to that.
Okay.
With like, I don't know, experimental jazz or something. Not this shit, it's the same shit.
Fucking shit. Same old shit.
Same old shit. Echo.
They sell more shit. You buy more shit. They sell more shit. We put up with it like every day.
WTHC, that was the knee kebabs with All I Have to Say. I love the knee kebabs. They are amazing. Big supporters of WTHC. They're driving around. I think they're in, hold on. Let me think. It takes me a second. Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, and they are driving around with WTHC all over their camper because they love us and we love them. Anyway, welcome in everybody on Live 365 and tune in, and of course everybody over here on Facebook and YouTube. You guys are amazing. We love you guys. Dr. High is here for anybody's disposal. If you have a question, disposal, is that the right word?
What's that? A question?
Disposal. If you have any questions, I said Dr. High is for your disposal. I don't think that's the right word. Disposal.
Dispensary?
No, disposal. Dr. High is here at your disposal.
At your disposal. Yeah, that one works.
Your disposal, that's the right word. I don't know if that's the right word. It sounds right. It sounds inappropriate. I don't know. He's here. He's here at your request. No, that's not right either. At your disposal. Yeah, I guess it's the right word. It just doesn't. I don't know. Did you know the W is actually a word?
Is at your disposal.
He's at your. Hi, Jimmy Stone. How are you? Welcome in. At your convenience. Yeah, I guess that could work. But what I'm trying to say is he's here, and if you have any questions, feel free to write them in the chat over there.
That's right.
Nice to see you, Mr. Stone. Nice to see you.
So, Lori, I'm looking at your plant right now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand how to top it properly?
Nice bush.
As long as you understand how to top it properly. Also, I'm looking, and I don't know if it's just a picture or not, but those very top fresh leaf growth that I see curled a little bit right at the top, is that purple that I'm seeing right where all the 5 leaves?
Yeah. She says she's seeing purple already.
Then that's most likely at this stage of growth a deficiency. Most likely phosphorus is, you could have a bit of a phosphorus deficiency. So perhaps the Miracle Grow isn't strong enough in that department. But outside of that, I mean, the plant looks okay. It looks like it's developed a little bit since we looked at the last pictures. So you could just pinch that. No, not at this stage. At this stage, it's not a good thing. As you're in flower and as the plant comes to the end of its life cycle, in its last couple of weeks, to see purple is not unusual necessarily. And a lot of times it'll have to do with a change in temperature too, right? Because you're trying to mimic, when you're growing indoors, you're trying to mimic the outdoors. You're trying to put that plant through the exact same type of regimen it would respond to in a natural environment. So as you're going to 12 and 12, and as the plant gets later into the light cycle, you can start lowering the temperature in your rooms, right, to simulate autumn. So you're bringing the temperature down, and as the temperature changes, a lot of times that's when the purpling will occur. You know, is during that temperature change, or if you have cold, dark cycles. Yeah,
I remember Hobbies used to say all the time he would run out and bring them in because it was getting too close to cold, because, you know, even though he was down in that southern state, it was still getting too close to cold.
Yeah.
You know, it might be that. It might be a deficiency in your phosphorus, I guess is what he's saying. Did you see
at the moment, what's that?
Did you see Mr. Stone's question? I don't want to let that get past because it's important. I don't want Jimmy to leave.
I forced myself to leave because of my condition. And help. I'm constantly losing nutrition. I just don't feel like eating. What strain of marijuana helps you want to eat?
Come hang out with the fat guy that takes care of me. You'll eat. You'll
Well,
be.
if you give me just a minute, Jimmy, if you go to my website, drhigh.ca, not drhigh.com for this one.
Should I have a different one?
What's that?
Dr. High, should I have a different one now?
No, they have different purposes.
Oh, okay. Should I have a CA one?
No, not necessary. That's one that I just use when, yeah.
Okay. All right.
But anyway,
enough said.
I'm gonna pull it up for you right now. This one I gotta get through the gate, right? But in there I do have some strain recommendations. So medical conditions, eating disorders. So are you having problems with nausea? Is that the problem, Jimmy?
Nausea?
Is that what I'm seeing? Is it nausea or it just doesn't feel like eating? All right, so I have to utilize a different resource. If it was nausea, what you'd be looking at to try and induce some bucanatonic and harlequin, Jack Hare, Northern Lights. High in CBD helps with the nausea, so that's kind of what you'd be looking for. But if you're looking to find something for appetite stimulation, I have to go back into my...
No, he says he's lost his colon. Well, somebody needs to help you find that shit.
So no, the problem is that there's maybe not enough digestive tract there to absorb the nutrients, which could be definitely very difficult. I was with somebody when I was in the States, and he had been shot in the stomach. And they had removed most of his intestine and colon and everything. And this guy had to go down to medical a bunch of times every day to drink cans of Ensure because he just didn't have enough of a system to absorb.
Yeah, he's saying pretty much the same there. You got shot? Are you him? Maybe it's Jimmy, your friend.
Oh, he's in the same situation?
Well, basically, he said same here. He got shot.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so this is a problem. So the first thing is that the endocannabinoid system does play a role in appetite weight regulation, but I don't have
endocannabinoid system. Is that why he's fat?
What?
Is that why I'm fat? Well, not me, but the guy that controls me.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't know.
Endocannabinoid system. I mean, is there links to overweightness because of your endocannabinoid system? Or whatever you call
well,
it.
I mean, it could be something to be about being out of balance, right? Like this would be part of it.
Get shot.
I'm just trying to find.
I'm glad you didn't get shot. I'm glad you didn't get shot. His colon twisted, so kind of like bloat, I think, right? No, something like that. And then they had to remove most of his large intestine, unfortunately.
Yeah, the problem is in my copies of the books, I don't have them set up where I can flip through them. I got to look through the whole damn thing, and I'm trying to find the strain recommendations, but yeah, it's really hard for me to find this on the fly like this.
What's it say, Jacob?
What's that?
Jacob said that he has a photo he wants to show us that New York is trying to say about marijuana.
What are they trying to say about it? They're actually, I saw a good thing about that today. They were actually opening up, New York State was opening up for applications for cannabis farmers markets. so they can actually run a farmer's market with cannabis product.
His pot doctor says sativa. Is that correct?
That was the exact first thing I was going to say to you. That was the first thing that comes to mind for me also. But I wanted to confirm it. Like I've written quite a bit about it. Actually, I have a book about medical cannabis and eating disorders. So I wanted to try and get back into there and find the strain recommendations. But I wasn't able to find it so quickly like this. But let me just do something quick here. And we'll try and confirm that. Because you need to stimulate that appetite.
I guess if I post something, it goes 3 times. That's the post that
so THC. So you'd want to find. Oh, that's an attachment this guy sent you?
No, well, that's an attachment that Glitch sent me. My friend Glitch sent me about.
Oh, I was going to say, don't be touching those.
No, it's okay. I got it from Glitch. I saw the picture already. I didn't read it, but it didn't. It's nothing.
Right.
It's not porn.
So basically, sativas can be good, but there's one thing with the sativa, you'd have to watch the strain a little bit because it got the THCV. Now, tetrahydrocannabivarin, which is actually a cannabinoid that can suppress appetite. And that's found more commonly in sativas than in indicas. Now, the munchies are caused by THC. So it seems to be the one the one cannabinoid that seems to stimulate the appetite is the THC. So you may want to, because it's going to be very difficult for you to find out whether there's any THCV in the flower because probably it's not being tested for. Some company, a really good company, might test for it because it's probably a good selling point. But you want to avoid THCV, but THCA or THC in the flower can help stimulate your appetite. So you'd want either a sativa or an indica. If you do go with sativa, because the problem is if you go with an indica, then it could make you tired and it could have some other effects. So if you're not into that sort of feeling, then you'd want to probably go with the sativa because it's more uplifting and you can get through your day easier and function and go to work and still process and do all those sort of things. Just be careful about the THCV content in there, but look for high THC strains because that will help stimulate the appetite. And we definitely would love to know, Jimmy, if in fact you do find any success or what you're doing.
Absolutely. Keep us posted. If that didn't work, let us keep helping you. We're here for you to keep trying. I mean, are you losing weight? Is that the issue overall? I mean, are you starting to get too skinny?
Well, the thing is, right, if you don't have any appetite and you're not getting the nutrition.
Well, you want to eat more things that you need, that, try to eat the stuff that you have to have, like the proteins.
Yeah, it's about the nutrition, right? That's the thing. You can eat for days on end and get zero nutrition.
Right, like the hippie.
But when you have a shortened colon or intestinal tract, then the problem is you don't have enough room to uptake those nutrients as it flows through your digestive system. Right? It's shortened. The guy I knew actually had plastic type pipe inside of him, right? Just to get from one end to the other. That's how bad he was messed up. So, it's a tough situation to be in.
Lori, I don't know. Nobody knows why we fat because we eat food.
What did Jacob want to share with us? A picture of what in New York? Because Jacob said he has a photo he wants to show you.
Yep, that's that link up there.
About marijuana.
I can't click on it, but it's just a billboard in a school, it looks like, and they have a poster up, and it's about marijuana, and I guess it's about telling kids not to smoke marijuana or whatever.
Perfectly good advice.
I don't know. I didn't really read it. I could be wrong. I didn't read it. So
I don't advocate cannabis use for anybody. underage. Oh, at the
Oh,
doctor's office, okay.
Doctor's
Yeah,
office.
no, I think it's wise not to consume cannabis when you're younger because your brain's still developing. And I would say that, science is showing that the brain is still in development until you're about 24 years old. So,
Yeah, but what about all us fuck ups that did it at 13?
well, it just goes to prove that all the science is wrong. All we can say is we don't know, right? We could say, well, we don't know what our potential might have been.
We were the guinea pigs.
Yeah, had we not, we don't know. I can say one thing for a fact. A lot of the people I went to school were far more commercially successful than I.
Yeah, I'll read it. Absolutely, Jacob, as soon as I can get a chance to read it. He says, you all have to check it out. It was in he went to go get an endoscopy.
Okay.
Oh, you poor
On the
bastard.
wall. Is it negative, Jacob? Is it a negative thing or?
Well, I have a negative thing.
What's that?
Marijuana legalization concerns about mental health psychosis in the U.S., warns former White House advisor. The national push for legalization of recreational marijuana in the United States has raised serious concerns about the impact on mental health, says Dr. Kevin Sabat, a former White House drug policy advisor who served under President Bush and Clinton, sounded an alarm on the potential risks associated with legalization of cannabis. And then it goes on to say industry prioritizing profits over public health, rising mental health issues and psychosis, avoiding past mistakes, challenges to social justice. These are just some of the top. I can read any of these if you hear something you want.
Oh, bullshit. As soon as you said
conclusion,
former White House, whatever. See, this is how it works in America, right? You work to get a job in government. You become a politician in America. And then all of a sudden after, 4 years or 8 years, somebody else comes along and they end up with your seat, right? Because your people are tired of your ineffectiveness. So what do you do next? What's your next move? You become a lobbyist. You go work for a lobbying group in Washington because now you have all these connections you've made because of your 4 or 8 years inside. So now people are willing to pay you to go and influence what's being said about specific issues. The people who are paying are corporate interests. From the people who produce milk and cows and chickens and eggs to the people who produce pharmaceutical drugs. And what we need to look at is the reality, not the fucking smokescreen. Right? I mean, and what do people say? I've known a lot of people who use marijuana in my lifetime. A lot. But I don't know a lot whose mental health actually suffered from it. I do know some who became psychologically addicted to it and had issues with that, which is possible. I mean, cannabis isn't physically addictive, but some people do become psychologically dependent on it. And that can happen, and it can be difficult for them to part ways with it or break that thought process. That's absolutely true. But the fact that it's causing psychosis and things like that is really unfounded. And if it does happen, it happens in such a small number of individuals compared to the number who are using cannabis. One person shows up at the hospital, experience some sort of cannabis psychosis because they've eaten 1,000 milligrams of THC or something. But what are they going to do? They're going to publicize that as a psychosis created by cannabis. So, yeah.
I have a point. I mean, who's been smoking longer than Willie? Right?
Yeah.
Who's been smoking longer than Tommy Chong or Cheech?
Or Keith Richards?
Or Pete Richards, right? Or any of the rock and roll bands that are still kicking and going. They've all been smoking weed and maybe some other stuff. We don't want to talk about
Morgan
that.
Freeman. Morgan Freeman, a big proponent of cannabis.
Absolutely.
Smokes it every day.
Tasha, hi. Good to see you again. Good morning. Welcome.
Hi, Tasha. How are you?
Yeah,
no,
Veronica.
Hello, Veronica. I didn't see you all the time there. I just saw Facebook.
I know she has bad service, so she's probably jumping from group to group trying to find a place that'll stabilize and let her be here for a moment. We got to do a commercial in a couple minutes. I don't have it set up, so I mean, if you want to keep talking, but
well, let's see. I pulled a couple other stories up today. Let's see if there's any others we're talking about. Oh, this was a good one. They're starting to look at changing. I didn't realize it was as severe as it was in the States, but it's about the evolving landscape of cannabis drug testing and employment in the U.S. And about a year ago, the article goes on to talk about that the trend is now changing, where you had a lot of pre-employment screening for drug testing for cannabis and stuff like that before. Employers are now finding that it's difficult right now. Since the pandemic, it's really hard to find people who want to fill jobs, right? It's really hard to find talent. This has become a big issue. I don't understand why all of a sudden, but
because a lot of people got used to working from home. I mean, so many jobs went to working at home that it's like now everybody wants to work from home and sit on their deck and play on their computer and work from home. I mean, if you can,
there's a real lack of talent. So these companies are going through the screening process with employees, and they find really good employees, and then they drug test them, and they test positive for marijuana. And because they've had that marijuana positive, they can't hire them. The HR department can't hire them into the company because it goes against the policies. So now companies are starting to take on the mindset that
it doesn't matter.
If we exclude people who use cannabis from potential employment, we're missing out on a pool of potentially good employees.
We're fucked.
So we're going to stop doing that. And apparently
I read an article on that yesterday as well. After our show, I read something about how they're all the government jobs are starting to get rid of drug testing for weed, not for other drugs, but if you're positive for weed, you'll probably still get the job. Know. But I mean, there's some jobs that you shouldn't be able to do it. That's the part that scares me. Like if my fucking doctor or my nurse is fucking high, you know what I mean? Like,
well, I can tell you for a fact here, the nursing association that my wife belongs to, they have regulations that have been set by the government around cannabis use because of their professional jobs, right? And my wife's restriction is no consumption of cannabis 4 hours prior to being on shift.
So it was basically the same thing. It wasn't cannabis for us at the firehouse, but our firehouse, every firehouse has their own rules. And my firehouse was you can't drink 4 hours prior. If you had drank 4 hours prior, you had to be at least no drinks in you 4 hours. It might have been 8. I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah, but if you had 10 drinks before that 4 hour time came up, you'd still
there was it might have been 24 hours now that you think. If you were drinking, you were off the clock for the next 24 hours, and if they found out that you were drinking.
Even the military here, because when I was in Edmonton, when I worked at Two Guys with Pipes, we had a lot of military guys come through there. They got a lot of military in that area. We'd have a lot of military guys come into the store for their 420 needs. And as legalization had occurred just recently, I found it a great curiosity to discuss with them how it affected them in their positions with the armed forces. And for the most part, they had similar rules. It depended on your job, right? So if you were an aircraft mechanic, if you worked on planes or helicopters, you had to be like 24 hours clean prior to going to work. If you were just an infantryman, you had to be 8 hours. So go ahead.
This kind of makes kind of want to go right with you. I feel as though if I was in the military, and I'm not, and I never was, but if I was, and they wanted me to go fight and shoot people and say I'm in infantry or the first in line, the Marines, whatever, I would want to be fucking stoned out of my mind running in there with guns shooting at people. I do not want to go there clean and sober because this is not fun.
I wouldn't want to be high from smoking weed though, because that gives me no motivation to go kill people.
No, if you get started, like if you get going and you're like hiding and you're playing war and you're like shooting people, I'd be like, all right, this is cool. I'm still.
Yeah, but that's not really
a little more. And then get high again. But now if I'm sober and I'm in there and I'm like, whoa, foxhole, head down. I don't want to do this. Here's my flag. Get out of here. No?
I watched a couple of interesting documentaries the other day about the military. Actually, one of them was about a father and son. This guy was a correspondent for ABC News for Nightline.
Okay.
Covering the war in Afghanistan. And his son had now grown to be an adult. And of course, the father had been covering conflicts for like 35 years around the world. So he was gone a lot, missed a lot of events. And, so the son kind of now is an adult, and he says to his dad, I'm coming with you. I want to understand why you took so much time away from the family when I was growing up, right? I want to see what this is all about. So him and his son go to Afghanistan to cover the Afghanistan war. And throughout this documentary, there are plenty of people smoking, soldiers smoking hash and cannabis in Afghanistan, lots of it. I watched another one the same day about Vietnam. There was lots of that going on in Vietnam too, and there was lots worse things going on in Vietnam than that. You know what I mean? When it came to soldiers trying to escape the reality of their situation. So, I think it's pretty good. The only ones I saw with a real severe restriction on them were pilots.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole subject was like, I could see nurses, if you're clean for 4 hours prior, that makes sense, and then work your 8-hour shift. You're not allowed to get high, but you should be able to go home and relax and get high and sit back and relax, especially from a stressful job like that. That job is nothing but fucking stress. My God, I kill myself. I used to watch the nurses work, man. They're nuts. They're the hardest working people out there, the nurses. Oh.
And they deal with all the shit too.
And they got the worst job, the hardest job, and they work the hard. Oh my God! Shout out to all the nurses and healthcare workers out there.
That's it. Have a good day at work, Kyle. Thanks,
Kyle. You have a good day. Let me run this commercial and a song, and we'll be right back. You're listening to Hippie and Dr. High.
Say bye-bye to bottled water. Holistic Health Water has certified medical-grade water ionizers that make 7 types of water, including healthy alkaline. There's a 5-micron filter that lasts up to a year, and each machine lasts 25 to 30 years. Simply attach to your faucet or install under your sink. Even get a mineral spa unit for your shower. Go to ownyourwater.org to get a free ebook. Plus, pay for any machine in full and get an extra filter free. Change your water and change your life. Ownyourwater.org.
Right now, our country feels divided, but there's a place where people are coming together.
I gotta tell you, I was nervous to talk to someone so different than me.
Me too, but I'm glad we are.
Love Has No Labels and One Small Step are helping people with different political views, beliefs, and life experiences come together through conversation, and it feels good.
Wow, your story is so...
interesting?
Yeah.
When people actually sit down, talk, and listen to one another, they can break down boundaries and connect as human beings. At lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep, you can listen to amazing, life-changing
shout out to your mom, Kyle.
Tools to start a
Thank you,
conversation of your
Nicholas.
own.
I know one thing. This conversation gives me hope.
It gives me a
Lori,
lot
you
of
can
hope.
always go back to
Take a
YouTube
step
or
toward bringing
Facebook,
our
and if you
country
need
and
it,
your
I can send
community
it to you.
together by having the courage to start a conversation at
Or
lovehasnolabels.com
Spotify, you can just listen.
/onesmallstep.
Why are you making phone calls on our time, Lori? This is the time we all spent together. Why are you making phone calls now?
People do some pretty cool
She
things
woke
in their
up late
40s and
today,
50s.
so
Why
she's
should saving for
behind
retirement
schedule.
be
I'm
any
just
different?
teasing.
I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding.
Kyle's mom is a CNA.
Okay,
everybody.
maybe that one's not for everybody.
What is a
but
CNA?
retirement is.
Kyle's
With
mom.
aceyourretirement.org, you can get on
Oh,
track
what's
with your
this?
retirement savings.
Certified
Hey,
nurse's
just have a
assistant.
3-minute chat with
Oh,
Abba.
okay.
a friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back. Woohoo! Snarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie.
So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Badger Heart Puppetry. Badger Heart Puppetry. Badger Heart Puppetry. If you need some kick-ass puppets, contact Thorge at 1-636-234-1535. He has all your puppet needs. He can fix puppets, build puppets, custom-made puppets. He has puppets off the rack for cheap prices. Contact Thorge today at 1-636-234-1535 or on TikTok or Facebook at Badger Heart Puppetry. He also makes LARPing items too. New song, new guy. His name is Dub Deuce. Dub Deuce. Just started playing. I love this one. This is a good one. Where they do that at? 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 They got it up, ready to that. In the club with shoes on, ready to that. Claiming you a hustler and you moving weight, but you never showing out, right? Ready to that. Son like a cowboy, ready to that. Chugging on some alcohol, ready to that. Brought up in the 4-6, roots planted in the south. All this got me saying, ready to that. Facebook thugging boy, so why you keep me banned? Really in the streets, breaking switches, packing plans. Got your girls my main, but you begging God. Please know you're crying like a bitch, yo, ready to that. Yeah, you always fall back, I can't rely on that. Hit you up like 5 times, you still ain't got back. Out here making moves and plans, but you never pick up. And when we do get together, I keep hearing hiccups. Where they do that? 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 I'm gonna need you to dance a little more in between.
You're gonna wait a little while for that, I think.
It was worth a try. Good morning, Brian. It's so good to see you, buddy.
Morning, Brian. Yeah, I don't.
Mark is in the house. Is he here? Hi, Mark. Fuck Sticky.
You fluff head. You fluff head.
I don't know what you mean. You said Muck is in the Discord. Our Discord? I'm not on Discord. I was like, oh, I'm sad. I want to go say hi. Muck, how are you, Muck? We love you. Boy, this is big news. Simple fact doesn't matter. Now my mind's twisted. Hey, Muck, if you're listening, this is the dude that sent you the music. He's got a song he wants to do with you over there on your suggestions. You know, like your music suggestions. Promote your music. If you guys don't know who Muck Sticky is, you're nuts. Go check him out. He's amazing. We play his music all the time. Actually, it was a fight between this or Muck, and I was like, we'll play Dub because Muck's already out there and Dub needs some love. Where they do that at? 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 Where they do that at?
Garbage can running man, where they do that at? Always into something fam, where they do that at? Saying you going him like Lindsay Lohan, what, where they do that at? Playing like Miss Pac-Man, where they do that at? Pimping like you Batman, where they do that at? World has gone backwards, where they do that at? I don't go to church, I refuse to fund crack dealers.
WTHC, that was Dub Deuce with Where They Do That At. Where they do that at? I got to try to figure out. I got to talk to him because all I have is letters. It's WTDTA. But I would assume the song is Where They Do That At. Where They Do That At. I love it. I like it. And he's got a great one that he sent over to Muck. I was like, oh, I want that one. And he's like, it's not done. I'm saving it for Muck. So, Muck, go check it out because it's a good one. Anyway, welcome back. We're hanging with Dr. High. I don't know what time you got to get out of here today, dude.
10, 15 minutes. I'm good.
Okay. Then we got a little while still.
We got a few minutes. I wanted to go into this conversation here between Lori and Tasha. So, Lori, we were teasing her about being on the phone during our time, but she was talking with the doctors about her migraines.
Right.
And Tasha suggested or says that she has those also and has bought THC and CBD massage oil, put it on her forehead and temples, and it helped greatly. Lori says she'll try that, and she's tried many things. I just wanted to relate the first time that I discovered that CBD had properties that were actually medically beneficial or could be beneficial to somebody, was with headaches. And that was my first experience with seeing the power of CBD, because CBD, as we all know, you don't really feel anything when you take it. It's not psychoactive. But when I used CBD and had a headache one day, that headache was gone immediately. My wife was also in the same situation and saw my response.
You were telling us that. I remember you telling us that story.
Before. And saw that. And then I had a buddy come to visit who was, I didn't know he got migraines, but he was acting funny, and asked him what was up. And he said he had a migraine coming on. And we dabbed, I prepared a dab for him with some THC distillate and CBD isolate. And after he exhaled, he sat back and he leaned back and he looked confused. And I'm like, so what do you think, Terry? And he's like, I feel like I do the day after my migraine is gone. So I would say, Lori, try and source. I mean, I don't know. I forget what your situation is like there, but if you can find a 1-to-1 CBD THC vape cart, that might help. Yeah, go ahead.
Let me ask you a question. You seem to be better friends with him. I'm making friends with him. He seems to be an amazing person. Does Master Rochi sell a CBD isolate? I thought I saw something about that on.
I've not really looked because I can't shop with him, you know.
Yeah. You might want to go check out Master Rochi. I feel like his isolate would be pretty good. I
mean, I could check it out right now.
Okay.
That's the beauty of technology. We don't have to go. Yeah, but let's see. But
if it's a CBD isolate, right? If it's an isolate and it's exactly what we want, and we can get it, because I want to get on it myself. And if I can support Master Rochi, then I will.
So Master Rochi's Garden.
Mm-hmm.
Master Rochi's Garden. The website. Shop all. So we got different oils. And chargers. No, there's 10 products there. He's got a full spectrum CBD oil.
Maybe that's what I saw.
Beard oil, golden medley. Yeah, unfortunately, there's no isolate there. But you can source it in the States quite simply because they do a lot in California. It's fully legal. I would just look for a California source. Let's see what we can pull up right off the rip here. Should be pretty easily. CBD isolate. CBD isolate. California. So it looks to me like there's a lot of places you can get it. But here's one GVB Biofarm, CBD isolate.
Thanks for chilling and smoking with us on WTHC.
10 grams. 10 grams. Add to cart. Let's see what 10 grams costs.
$200 million.
Huh. 10 grams, $10.
$1 a gram?
Yep, and $15 shipping. Grand total of $25 for 10 grams of CBD isolate.
All right, get me some.
GVB Biopharma. I would actually do this to create my own. I would deal with these guys right away. That's an incredible price.
You heard it from the doctor. You heard it from him.
The best price I saw, but I haven't looked for a couple of years. But I remember out of California, it was about $17 a gram. That's $1 a gram. You should probably order that for yourself.
I'm going to, yeah.
Good for headaches, yes.
I don't really suffer from headaches, knock on wood, but I just want to. I feel like I want to get. Yeah, you said it's good for inflammatory, right?
The biggest is inflammation.
Yeah,
that's
I'm a big walking ball of inflammation. So
yeah, that's really.
My balls are inflamed. My toes are inflamed. Everything's inflamed.
But from what I understand, and Tasha is just another individual who confirms that CBD is good for the headaches also.
Well, Mrs. Hippie now, on the other hand, she suffers from migraines every once in a while, so maybe I got to get it for her too. Now, does she have to smoke?
It's very simple, right? You get your CBD isolate out of California for $25 for 10 grams.
Right.
So now what you do is you get your 1 gram of distillate from your local dispensary.
The syringe?
Yep, the syringe.
Okay.
You get yourself a 30 milliliter bottle with an eyedropper.
Uh-huh.
You take 28 milliliters of MCT oil.
Uh-huh.
You take 1,000 milligrams of CBD isolate, and you squirt 1 syringe of the distillate into that oil together. Shake it up, let it sit, and it'll all be mixed in. Now you have a very, very powerful 1-to-1 ratio CBD THC oil that you could use on the skin or use orally. So you can use it either directly onto your skin or you could take it as an oral preparation. So very, very good. And very inexpensive to achieve because although your distillate's quite expensive, the CBD at $1 per gram.
You're talking $125 thing, you know.
Listen, just a bottle of pet CBD. I can sell a bottle of CBD oil, a 30 ml bottle of CBD oil with 1/3 of a gram of CBD to somebody for their pet for $30.
I got cases and cases and cases of it out there.
So, but why aren't you using it yourself?
Because it says pet, not
right.
human.
But what are the ingredients? MCT oil and CBD?
No idea. Didn't read them.
Well, you should have a look because if it's just
put them over there, and I'll give it to my pets when they drive me crazy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, if I can, I didn't know I could. I thought.
But that's the whole thing. Like these people out there, sadly enough, are paying really top dollar for things that they could be doing much, much, much.
What? I'm going to peel all the labels off, and I'm going into the CBD business for a couple months. $10 a bottle. Hit me up. It's not for pets. No.
Well, it's a saturated market, right? If you're trying to buy pre-made products, but what's to stop you from making your own?
Right.
You know what I mean? There's nothing to stop you from making your own. And I'll tell you what, you save a lot of money. A lot of money doing it yourself.
In the long run, yeah.
And you know exactly what's in there. It's a really repeatable process. You know, it just makes sense to do it for yourself. So let's see. What can we source in California?
Do you want to wait a second? And I'll run out to the other room and see if I can get one of those bottles and see what it says.
Yeah, let's have a look.
All right, let me lay back and relax. All right, I'll be back. You're in charge.
Well, I'm just doing some quick research here, but yeah, really, like that's one of the things that people don't seem to realize. They think that working with cannabis is so complex, so difficult to do, but it's really, really so simple. If you're trying to, well, you can call me Dr. Nick, but I'm no doctor. I'm no doctor for real. I just understand this plant and what you can do with it and how you process it. That's all. Grow it and process it. That's where my knowledge. I'd be more like a PhD in cannabis than I would be in the medical vein at all, you know. But that's what people need to understand. You have to spend a lot of money to buy the preparations you're buying. You can really, really do it on a budget, get a lot more for your money, get a better quality products, and be able to control everything for yourself and save a pile of money. And that's really where it's at, right? Because a lot of you who are in the States are paying quite a bit for your medicine. And until insurance companies are doing something about that and covering this medication for you once it's been prescribed by a doctor, you really need to figure out how to do it in the most economical way possible for yourself. And this is the sort of thing I can teach.
All right, I got it. It's
okay.
The flavor is key lime pie.
I don't know why it has a flavor for pets, because they got only 17% of the taste buds we do.
No, because I have some that are for human.
Mm.
I grabbed the one for human, I guess. Full spectrum CBD oil.
Yep.
500 milligrams.
Okay, so
ounce, 1 ounce fluid, 30 milliliter.
Yep.
All right, now I'm going to go to the small side. I got to take my glasses off so I can read. Oh, God, I'm not going to be able to read this.
We only want to see 3 ingredients max. You want to see MCT oil, you want to see CBD isolate, and whatever that flavor is to make it key lime, hopefully just terpenes.
Oh, my God, my eyes are so bad.
Well, Nick, you can always just call me Dave. That's what most people call me. It's no problem for me. You can't read it, eh? It's too small.
Oh, I'm getting there. Hold on.
There we go, Nick. That works fine. You got to get you a magnifying glass.
Oh, I had one here. I don't know where it went.
But you shouldn't have any complicated list of ingredients.
Dude, the writing is... I can't even...
There's... Is that all the ingredients just under the...
No, some of it says it's not intended to treat any medical conditions.
Right, which is a claim they have to make, yeah.
It says shake well, place 1 to 2 droppers under your tongue. Hold there for about 90 seconds and swallow. Do this once a day. Increase as needed. And then in the very, 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 very tall, small writing, it says something about MCT oil.
Okay. Can you just figure out how many ingredients there are? How many separations that show ingredients? Because there should only be...
It looks like 3.
Should only really be 3.
It looks like 3, but I can't read them.
Okay.
Let me see if
Then
I
you
put my
should
glasses
be using, there's no reason you shouldn't be using that.
Oh, I put my glasses on and got worse, so I took them back off. It says, it's so fucking hard. 1 ingredient, 16.7. Oh no, that's MCT oil.
Yeah.
MCT oil.
It's going to be like 99% MCT oil. It should be.
Yep, that's all it is, really.
Yeah, it just should be MCT oil and CBD isolate. And if it's flavored, then it's going to have a flavoring agent, which should be a terpene if they're really doing it right. But if it's a full spectrum, it could be some natural flavor. But it's hemp derived, so I can't imagine what flavor there would be.
It's made in the USA.
Yeah.
Hemp derived, CBD, ethanol.
Ethanol was the extraction method, but there may be some ethanol in the preparation because that is the tincture, right? That would be the initial tincture before they put it into the oil.
10 calories, 1 gram of fat, 5% saturated fat.
Yeah,
17 milligrams of hemp derived. 17 milligrams, I think that says. I just
should be 500 milligrams because that's what the bottle claims. Should be 500 milligrams of full spectrum CBD.
Well, this says hemp derived CBD extract.
Yeah, 500 milligrams, right?
No. 1. It looks like 17 milligrams.
Wow.
17 mgs.
Well, the bottle claims 500, right? On the other label?
On the front.
Yeah, so I don't see how they can say it's 500 milligrams if you're looking at the ingredients.
If you look at the ingredients, you're not going to be able to see it. But
it could be 17%.
It could be percent.
If it's percent, yeah, that's. I mean, they put in half a gram, right? And 30 milligrams weighs 30 grams. So there's no way that that's even 17%. So I don't even understand what those would be. But 3 ingredients, that's what you're looking for. There's no reason that you shouldn't try it.
I got to get my wife to read it so she can see it better.
Yeah.
Better eyes than I do. She got reading glasses. I don't. Anyway, I have cases of it. I told you the company went out of business, and my daughter's old boyfriend worked for him, and he brought us cases of it for when he worked there, and then unfortunately they went out of business after that.
Well, I'll tell you what, that could help some people out there, especially if you got the human one, and it's correct.
Oh, I definitely have human, and I think I have cat and dog as well.
So. A cat and dog. Go to the dog. Go down to the dog parts. People will buy it like wild. Well, I don't know. It's more accessible there. It's different here. Like I was in the pet store yesterday. I had to go get my dog food, and I wanted to take a look at some probiotics for him. So I'm looking at the probiotics, and I start seeing all the hemp stuff, hemp oils and stuff like that. So I start talking with the owner of the store, and I mean, Health Canada doesn't allow any CBD preparation for pets because they haven't recognized it as being valuable for the pets, right? So if it's not authorized by Health Canada, the dispensaries can't sell it. So you have no place to source CBD oil in Canada for your pets. And I'll tell you what, I sold a lot of it, like a lot. I couldn't even tell you how many bottles, but a lot of bottles. A friend of mine, a coworker who had 3 dogs, who was in the dog parks every day. I was manufacturing and he was distributing. And just the stories he came back with that the people told him about the difference it made for their animals was incredible. You know what I mean? Like, incredible. So I think that this is something that you should supplement your animal's diet with, even if they're not sick. And it's
Right.
very
Same thing with an RSO. I feel like everybody should be on an RSO. If you're a smoker, why not be on an RSO every day?
Well, RSO is pretty intense, but yeah, I mean, you can use some sort of full spectrum product, absolutely, because it still contributes to your overall balance and wellness. Thank you, Nick. Glad you enjoyed the show today.
I got to run a commercial, and we'll be right back.
It's time for me. I'm going to go before you do the commercial.
Okay.
And everybody, thanks for spending time with us today. It was a blast. Always enjoy your company and your questions and comments. Thank you, Hippie. Lots of fun. And what day is it today?
Today is Wednesday.
We'll see you tomorrow on Thursday.
Tomorrow, 10 a.m., right?
That's it. Peace, everybody.
Peace, everybody. I'm going to stay and play the commercials and a Muck Sticky song because my man Muck is in the house. And
I got lots of work to do this afternoon, so I'm going to be enjoying your playlist.
All right, we'll be here. I'll see you in a little while. Everybody, let's do our commercials. We'll be right back. You're hanging with the Hippie.
Hey, Hippie, look at this beautiful crystal sphere I got from Bella's Badass Crystals.
Look at this big vagina I got.
OMG, Hippie.
It doubles as a worry stone.
Bella's Badass Crystals is on the top of the mountain in Dauphin, PA.
You can also check out their sales. They have mini Mondays and twice-a-day Tuesdays.
Find Bella's Badass Crystals on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
They are badass.
Okay, men, this is your time. Maybe you didn't choose this, but you're here now. You're going to go out there and be an all-star caregiver. It's up to you. So what are you going to do? You're going to go grocery shopping, cook, clean, be there emotionally and physically. You got to dig deeper. Drive them to physical therapy, doctor's appointments. Don't you forget about the pharmacy. No, you won't. Because that's what caregivers do. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. This is your time to show the world, your family, and yourself that you're tougher than tough. Now go out there and be the best caregiver this world has ever seen. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick and proud aunt. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing. But not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. 1 in 6. That little girl sitting alone at the playground, she can't play like the other kids. She doesn't have the energy because she's hungry. School lunch will be her only meal today. It breaks my heart that this is the reality in our country, but it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. This food is then provided to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about using your imagination, learning, and having fun. These children shouldn't have to miss out on simply being a kid because they're hungry. To find out how you can help end childhood hunger in your community, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Hey, it's me, Mrs. Hippie. Check out Vern on TikTok at You Have Me Hooked. She's amazing. And everything she makes on TikTok, she sells at You Have Me Hooked 23 at Etsy. So you can watch her make it and she'll make personalized stuff. So if you have an idea, like I would like this thing made, she can make it. She can make anything. She's an incredible artist. Check her out at You Have Me Hooked on TikTok and You Have Me Hooked 23 on Etsy.
WTHC, good afternoon, everybody. 12:21, and we just missed 4:20. Oh, shit. Damn it. Fuck it. We'll smoke anyway. I'm going to smoke. You guys should smoke. This is our main man, Muck Sticky, walking and talking.
I keep on rocking and rolling, moving to the groove. Real smooth journey, no more swollen colon. Holy moly, macaroni, Yankee doodle. Yank my noodle while I pet your poodle. Doobie doobie doo. I do believe I can. I'm a cannabis enthusiast. That's right, man. So let's take a pause for the cause. Here, hit this and expand exponentially, flipping like a pancake. Get your oyster moist and hot. It's a clam bake, yabba dabba doo. Fred Flintstone, blast a dabba goo. You can lick my bone. If you're hating on life, quit Facebook stalking. Be a real human being. Start walking and talking. I'm silly, goofy, and I don't give a fuck. You can make fun of me, tell me that I suck. I still have a good time, waking and baking, taking time to find the right rhyme, making this song. Hit my bong, whip out my dong, but the bitch had a clit 6 inches long. It's a beef curtain or a meat wallet. Don't matter what you call it, you just need to clean it. I mean no disrespect, but you need to keep the stinky pink in check. So I'm walking and talking, 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 walking and talking. I'm walking and talking, walking and talking. I'm walking and talking, just walking and talking.
Dab, yeah. As soon as I get done with this, I'm dabbing the hell out of my dabs.
I love a good clean vagina. Nothing could be finer than to be in Tennessee sipping muscadine wine. Lime green marijuana sticking to my fingers every time I come by. When I leave, the smell of weed lingers in the room. People know Sticky Muck has the stankiest dank on the block. You can jump on my cock and start hippity hopping. She sounds like a turkey going gobble, gobble, gobble. Bobbing up and down like a buoy on the ocean. Bouncing them boobies in super slow motion. Lube me up with lotion, rub me down, turn me on, top me off and tuck me in. Cinnamon toast is my favorite midnight snack. I don't give a tiddly wink if you think I'm whack. Just keep on talking that yakety yak while I keep on rocking this trackety track. I got 2 fat sacks in my pants, one in my pocket, the other underneath my rocket. Nuggets in one, my nuts in the other. Black folks say, you got a taste of soul to you, bro. Yeah, style too. I'll high five you. Suit, coat, tie, dye, tee, pajama pants. All you little chickens just keep squawking. The name's Muck Sticky and I'm walking and talking. Just walking and talking. 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 I'm walking and talking. Walking and talking. I'm walking and talking. Just walking and talking.
WTHC. Thank you, everybody over here on Facebook and YouTube for an amazing show. Please share it out. Let your friends know that we're here every day at 10 a.m. hanging. Muck Sticky, I love you. Thank you for such wonderful music. This one coming up next is our friend Southern Star Productions with Hands Up. Everybody, hands up. I'm going to get that going, and then I'm going to end this show. All right. I'm out of here. Facebook and YouTube. I love you guys. Peace.